The Florida Podcast Network, the voice of Florida.
This is Florida Man News, the worst headlines from the Sunshine State on the Florida Podcast Network. I'm your host, Joel Lounds.
Hello and welcome. This is producer Jemmy with a welcome episode. These are some of my favorites because I love that our team is growing and expanding and that I get to bring these incredible individuals to you because they are so fantastic. And on this welcome episode, I'm actually going to be joined by another host on FPN, one of our longest hosts on FPN, Dave Butler from the Florida Beer Podcast. What up, Dave?
Really? Didn't realize that my tenure was as big as it was.
Yeah, I think, considering we have just Finding Florida might be the only one that's longer than yours. I believe so. Yeah, you're it, man.
Interesting. That's good.
Yeah, and I love that you're on the network. Your show's doing incredible.
Good.
Yay. Now, yeah. And we're both such big fans of this host's work because we fangirled about him many times before. We've talked about his other show before, his previous show before. Now, I do want to make a legal side note. Because Dave hosts the Florida Beer Podcast, and it's on the Florida Podcast Network, I'm stating this disclaimer. We take no responsibility in connecting Dave's show at all, just because it's all about beer, to any of the activity that is being reported on this new show on the network. We take no responsibility on anything that Dave's show influences that ends up being reported on Joel's show. And that is who is coming on, Mr. Joel Lounds, former co-host from Florida Men. Now, Joel, welcome to Florida Podcast Network. I'm so excited to have you.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here. It's great to be on the Florida Podcast Network now.
Oh, and now that he's here, I think I have to go. Bye.
Oh my gosh. When Dave heard that you were coming on, Joel, he's like, Jemmy, can I join in on this welcome episode? I'm like, yes, it would not be right if you weren't part of it. Oh my gosh. So many conversations we've had about you, Joel. I don't know how many times your ears have been itching, but we've talked about you quite a bit. So I'm so excited to have you do a show with us on the network. And it's going to be, Florida Man's the gift that keeps on giving, but you're doing this in a new format, a new way. So tell us more about this new show and welcome to the network, Joel.
Thank you. So Florida Man News is the new show. And like you said, it's the same type of content as Florida Men was, all about Florida Man and Florida Woman and all the crazy hijinks that they get up to. But whereas Florida Men was more a conversational style with me and my former co-host, Phil, who's doing great, by the way, everybody who's asked. Phil just got married a couple weeks ago. So the intern has moved up to be Phil's manager now. But this one it's just me, and it's more of a scripted show, like a daily show program where it's more reporting the news. But the jokes are still there. I think the jokes might be a little more polished than some of the humor we had before. Lots of dad jokes still in the scripts here. So if you love Florida Man or Florida Men, then Florida Man News will hopefully be something you like too.
I definitely love Florida Men, and I've had the pleasure of listening to a preview sample episode from this new show, and it's hilarious. Dave, you haven't had a chance to hear that yet.
No, because you don't love me.
But what are you looking forward to with this show? Like, how excited were you to hear that Joel was coming on?
It's just something that makes my heart happy. I guess happy and sad at the same time, because I don't want to be that state.
We are, whether we like it or not.
It's funny. I'm taking a look at a screenshot I took of a picture that my local news station posted on Facebook of a guy in the Florida Keys who got pulled over for DUI and tells the deputies he was driving so badly because he's high and happy. And if you can find the photo of the mugshot, it's the photo of the mugshot that just makes everything just smile. That's what it's for. That's really why you do it. And it's stuff like that that I have unfortunately resigned myself to enjoying being a part of the state. So I I've enjoyed the banter, I enjoyed the stories. I was sad when it didn't come back. And so now that it is back, I'm quite happy.
Florida men are kind of like, imagine everybody's drunk uncle at the holiday. Like they're there. Enjoy the entertainment. Just suck it up. They're there. They're part of the family, and just sit back and laugh and enjoy the show. That's kind of how I think of.
And it's going to be a show.
Yes, it is. What are you looking forward to most about finding? What kind of Florida men do you find the most fascinating, Joel? Or Florida women?
Florida men, Florida women. The most interesting is when they come up with something so off the wall that you couldn't have predicted. One of the running jokes on Florida men was, how many things could a inmate hide inside them when they were booked into prison or into jail? And
the which orifice was it found in game?
Exactly. And that was funny when it started. After a while, it's just like, yeah, we've seen this before.
Are you still going to have the healthy disrespect of everything that's coming out of Polk County?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Sheriff Grady Judd is the gift that keeps on giving. I swear his social media team needs a raise because they are always on top of it and finding every angle that they can.
So while you were talking a second ago, Joel, I was reminded of this special Florida man Glenn and I had encountered on one of our Finding Florida adventures, because Finding Florida had preview episodes, and I'll be honest, I tried to model a couple of those segments were definitely inspired by your show and your banter, but I remembered encountering and taking a picture of this Florida man. I'm just going to describe it real quick. So it was taken around Christmas time. In fact, it was part of our Christmas episode. And it was a gentleman standing on the side of the road with a sign. Any guesses as to what the sign may have said? It's Christmas time. Keep that in mind. It's Christmas time.
Something about ho ho hos.
Oh my gosh, that would have been brilliant. But no. Any guesses, Dave?
Let's see. It's Florida man. It's Christmas. Happy Easter.
That would also make a lot of sense. No, it says, and I quote, "My gay dog stole Santa bag full of bones." What?
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think those words have ever been put together in that order in the history of the English language.
And onto a cardboard sign being held up on the side of the road. Welcome to Florida, people. Oh my
Florida.
goodness.
We are the leaders in education. Spelled SHION.
Man, Joel, you are going to bring such great humor to this platform. I cannot wait. We're all about having fun on Florida Podcast Network, and a lot of times that means poking fun at ourselves. So you're going to lead the charge with this show. It's going to be an incredible, incredible ride. I can only imagine all the bumps we're going to hit along the way, but it's going to be so much fun. And you can find more details. You can subscribe. You can catch the sizzle reel that will be coming out soon of Joel's new show with us here on FPN. Woohoo! Yay, we finally got him. We caught him. We caught him, Dave. We're not letting him go.
We caught him. Just like the cops had to try to catch the drunk woman riding around on a motorized suitcase, evading them at Orlando International Airport.
Lord. And I can only imagine what was found in her orifices. But you can find...
Oh, wow. We went there.
We went there. Trust me. This show will go there.
I'm done. Bye.
This show will go there. You can find it at FloridaManNewsPodcast.com. And you can also catch Joel soon at Podfest in Orlando in May. Congratulations, Joel. What are you speaking about? You're going to be a presenter.
I am. 13 tips on creating podcast artwork that gets your podcast noticed.
See, that's the awesome thing about podcasting. We're just as professional as we are ridiculously goofy. And so you're going to get a lot of that here on FPN and on Florida Man News. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you for joining in on this one, Dave. Appreciate you both. Have a great one.
Bye.
Thanks, Jemmy. That's the news from the shady side of the Sunshine State. We'll be back next week with another heaping pile of Florida Man News.
Flintstone Media has been the digital messaging bedrock of several brands and businesses, serving as a highly resourceful podcast production house and consultancy firm for over 6 years. Visit flintstonemedia.com for podcast samples. From show development and setup through recording and distribution, work with a leader in the industry and add a new podcast to your brand's content offerings. That's flintstonemedia.com.